this chart, on the daily chart, you can see something that is quite interesting. We have turned around and we came above one, two, three, four structure points. These are all points that are structure points on the chart. I'm not talking buying points, I'm talking structure points. And we have had a very big range day. I think the biggest range in the currencies all of last Friday was primarily in the euro dollar. It moved up close to 250 pips. And the interesting part is that we closed at 126.65. The structure point is pretty much 126.67. So what's 2 pips between friends? I mean, we're not going to argue or squabble about the 2 pips. So it's pretty much, since I had this big momentum from the downside, we can say that we closed at the structure point. Now, this is a short covering rally. We know that for a fact. And therefore, it is also a big range day. The high of the day is 126.93. So since it is a big range day, and since it is a short covering rally, and since we are only 20 pips from the high of the day, therefore we are only going to buy it when it takes out the high of the day, because we want to make sure that this short covering is going to continue. And guys, we're going to repeat what we did on Friday. What you did on Friday is that we sat on our hands. We were not in a hurry to take profits. We sat on our hands. We were giving it room to work. So we will do the same thing. We will give it room to work. So if it gets above the 129, the 126.93, which is right there, this means that the short covering is going to continue. And when you're in a short covering, you want to sit on your hands. You want to let it run. So this is going to be your buying point. And in this case, we have a structure point at 126.68, which is 30 pips away. That will be our stop. So our stop is going to be right there, below the 126.68. And of course, if we go above the daily high, we have now another structure point that is coming into play. The new structure point that's coming into play is this one. That's the new structure point that's coming into play. That will be the short-term trend change, and that is the 127.47. So if it goes above this, it should go to the 127.47. And of course, if it breaks above this 127.47, you can expect this thing to fly easy to the 129.76, which is the big number here. Okay, so let's put the euro numbers in place. We are going to buy the euro above 126.93, and if we do, we're looking at the next structure on the upside, which is the 127.47, and if I buy it, my stop is going to be below 126.66, which is the structure point. Okay, now on the short side, that's the tricky one. Since we are in a short covering rally, we have to be kind of cautious, because if this thing starts setting off, it's not going to stop. So this was our prior momentum high. Therefore, I do not want the euro to come below that prior momentum high, and in this case, which is 126.23, and I have a structure point at 125.97. So if you look at those 2 points, we want the chart to tell us below which point we are going to go short. So when it reached this momentum high, it came below the 125, and there was really no follow through to the downside, and it held at the 125.58 structure point. So in this case, I would like to short it below the 125.58. But if you look at the daily chart, this means we're going to be leaving a hell lot of money on the table. Because it's now at 60. This distance is about over 100 and some odd pips. Still. So let's short it below the structure point just to be on the safe side. So this is going to be our short point below the 125.97, and we'll place our stop above the 126.23. That's going to be our stop. So we're going to go short below 125.97. Our stop is going to be the 126.23, and my structure short point is going to be the 125.58. So the euro dollar, we're going to trade it this way. We're going to buy it above the 126.93. If we do, we have a structural long point at 127.47, and if I do, my stop is going to be 126.66. On the short side, I'm going to go short below 125.97. If I do, I have a structure short point at 125.58, and my stop is going to be the 126. I'm sorry, 126.23. Okay? That is the euro dollar. Let me save that.